So, Pastor Mary, it's great to see you again. Here we are in April. We met back in, I think it was end of December, beginning of January. And it's been 3 months.
Right.
How have things been going since the last time that we met?
Things have changed a bit. I think we see less people in pandemic need at this moment, so less new people coming through. People have kind of found how to live in this space for the most part, and thank God the winter's over, right? So it's very hard sometimes to sleep at night knowing that somebody you know by name and care and you know their life story is sleeping outside.
Yeah.
So summertime is a much better time. Parks are getting open, bathrooms are open in parks, so some of the basics are more available. We still have problems with things like drinking fountains being shut down, but things are a little better, a little less urgent. But there's still not a lot of places to go. If you're homeless, there's just not a lot of places you can go. And it's still very hard, I think, to wear a mask, and for people who are especially struggling with mental illnesses, masks are extremely difficult.
Yeah. Well, hopefully with everything that has been happening with the vaccines now, hopefully we get herd immunity and things do change for the best.
Yes.
How has the winter gone so far with the homeless people that we've been in touch with, or that we haven't been in touch with, but we've been able to help in some way?
The winter went way better than it could have because we were able to shelter people. We actually sheltered quite a number of people with your help this winter, and that was immeasurably helpful.
Good.
We've, I can't thank you enough really for that. That gift of knowing that somebody is inside, they have access to things that we take for granted: a cup of water, a bathroom, a shower, a roof over your head. We were able to actually shelter quite a number of people. And I really think that was, that really helped a couple of our people who've been success stories, because they were more stable and they could sort of put their feet on the ground and step up from there.
Yeah.
So extremely helpful.
Well, I know on behalf of all of the employees at Howcker Logistics and our social promise of humanity for the homeless, they're all stepping in, and they know that every single shipment that we move is helping you, your organization, your community, and the homeless.
Yeah.
So it's a great opportunity to really make an impact in a community like this.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of need out there. I mean, we still have the fundamental problems of our system. People who are homeless, every barrier comes up in front of them. I mean, it's incredible, the barriers that suddenly pop up. Things become extremely difficult. Just to get a post office box, you actually have to have an address that you can prove, right?
And only one.
Right.
And only one at each
You have to have a
location.
lease, or you have to have insurance.
Yeah.
And most of these people have none of those things.
Yeah, and we talked about this last time, and as we did interviews, we really didn't know what homelessness was really truly like.
Yeah.
We had to put ourselves out there.
Right.
And it's amazing.
Right.
That all the trials and tribulations and the roadblocks and the red tape, it's like, I could see them wanting to just give up.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. I admire, I always tell people that we're working with that, they have to be very strong and, and work step by step and see progress in the small things, because the problem in front of them is like a mountain, usually, especially if you struggle with mental illness. You're dealing with a huge stigma, and you're dealing with fear.
Yeah.
I mean, the fear factor these days, you're always fearful that someone's gonna come and arrest you or give you a ticket which you can't pay. I mean, it's just, again, what good is it to have a ticket to somebody if they have no money?
Yeah.
Right. So now we're gonna give them a $1,000 ticket. I know somebody with $5,000 worth of tickets, and they're homeless. They have no job.
So I know stimulus checks have gone out. Have the people here in this community that needed the stimulus checks, have they been able to get theirs?
No. I would say no.
Once
The people who most needed it
Yeah.
have not been able to get it. And it's things like, when you're homeless, your bank account gets closed on you, right? So the
Right.
bank account that they want to send it to is closed, so they can't send it. So that takes a while to fail. And then they try to send it to an address, but that's not your address anymore. That was your address 3 times ago. So these things just get lost. Or some people are not even in the system at all.
Wow.
And we've worked with people to try and get them into the system.
Yeah.
And when you're homeless, the barriers to even get in the system to get a stimulus check are very high.
Yeah.
Not a single one, not even one stimulus check.
And that just sounds like a whole nother project to me.
Yes, it is.
From start to finish.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So have there been any recent success stories that you can share?
Yes, we definitely have had some success stories. In fact, we're kind of delighted because we've had 2 of our people really get feet on the ground. One, I would say, completely out of homelessness, hopefully long-term. And the other really just right on the cusp, getting into a work environment so that they can then get into they're in a program now where they can get a job with a roof over their head, and then they'll eventually get into their independence.
And I think this is one of the individuals that we interviewed as well.
Possibly, yeah, I wouldn't
think
be
so.
surprised. Yes, so
This is awesome.
yeah,
This is
those are great
news.
stories, and you just love to see them. And then you also celebrate the little steps.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, one good day for some people is worth celebrating.
Absolutely.
It's a very meaningful work.
Yeah, it's amazing how much just a little bit can go so far for people.
We've had a very interesting season here. There was one week, we have a bench outside our door here actually, and our food box is out here too. And so we see people sometimes come and go, and we try to meet with them and talk to them. But twice in a row in 1 week, we had somebody sitting on our bench out there who is in desperate need. And I mean desperate need. And what touches me is that they came here. And that to me is a sign of trust, knowledge that, when things are really, really bad, you can go and there'll be somebody here who will care for you.
Yeah.
So I would actually call those success stories as well, in an unusual way.
Yeah. Little winks.
Yeah, yeah.
We want to know too, how else can Becker Logistics help in your trials and tribulations that you see each and every day?
Well, given the resources that we've received so far have just been, they've been extraordinarily, and I'm so grateful. And when we see that possibility coming forward, I think we can dream, right? So
Absolutely.
we can dream on helping people get that first home and the social worker support around them to actually live in that situation. The congregation can welcome them, in. We already do. We welcome people in, but we can continue to welcome perhaps more. Our capacity goes up.
Yeah.
So one of the things we've learned, I think, in this ministry is it kind of goes where God takes it. So I can't 100% predict where it will go, but I do know this: there's a tremendous amount of need out there.
Absolutely.
So we do serve a kind of a unique niche here. A lot of the people we work with are completely out of the system. People might think, why don't they go to a homeless shelter? Well, a lot of the people we work with have been kicked out of homeless shelters. They're not allowed in. And what we try to do is pick them up and move them inch by inch by inch. And, what a joy to get some people actually on their feet.
Yeah.
So I think we'll seek to expand our ministry a little bit. We're building a little permanent pantry outside the church so that people can get that. We're rebuilding some of our space to try to get better access to clothing and things like that. And hopefully we can start to tackle some of the other serious problems people have, those kinds of things. So I think what you're allowing us to do is dream on behalf of some people who need someone to have hope for them. and dream for them.
Well, we're committed to that hope and that dream this whole year. So every quarter this year, you will receive a check
Well, we're
from
going
us.
to dream.
So dream in grace and mercy.
Yeah, amen.
My last question to you is, there's a lot of people that will be watching this. How else can other people get involved? Because some of us, I'll be honest, my ignorance, I had no idea what it was like and what problems that people were being faced with. I really needed to get involved and find out and turn it into a project.
Right.
How can people that are listening right now get involved, volunteer their time, their money, their resources?
Well, there are times when we need specific things to help people. And so that would be one way. For example, certain kinds of food or certain kinds of clothing, or like in the summer sometimes tents, things like that. Good quality tents, please. Not the ones that fall down when it rains.
Okay.
Those don't help anybody. So there are those kinds of material needs if that's where a person is comfortable. Honestly, another one is to just be out in the world and say hello to people. Treat them like human beings.
Absolutely.
And then say, hey, I know a place where you can get a lunch. It's served family style. You'll eventually, when we have COVID done, you'll sit around a table. You'll be respected. You won't have to bear your whole story to everybody.
Right.
And you can become a part of a community. And that's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just huge.
People need community.
They do. So begin to see people, I think, is really the right thing. Not as somebody who's going to bother you, but as somebody who's a genuine human being with very significant needs and probably mountains in front of them.
Yeah.
So
can you give us the information of your church, how they can reach out, call you, email you?
Yeah, our church is Baker Memorial United Methodist Church. We're in St. Charles at 307 Cedar Avenue. This is our Cedar Avenue door where everybody who comes through during the week or comes to our food box outside. And they can reach the church, 630-584-6680, and probably leave a message under Caring Ministry would be the right one to leave a message under if they'd like to find out how to help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
I really
you.
do appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I think we got to thank you and all of you. And just know that a little bit can make a huge difference in a person's life.
Absolutely.
So, and you have made a difference, and I can't thank you enough. Really.
Well, on behalf of all of our employees, they really appreciate making a difference and having a calling.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much.